All right, welcome back to the Breaker Bros, and tonight we have special guest Drew, and we're gonna go over the Baltimore versus Bengals game, and then kind of go for our predictions against the Jets games this weekend. But I guess starting out, the big game we had this past weekend, I think Eric, I think your score was closer than my score, or
Well, I said Bengals would win by 3, so I don't know if I get full credit. I guess I did say they'd win, so that's good.
yeah,
I
well,
didn't
yeah,
see a massive win coming, but I'll take it.
but yeah, what were your thoughts on the game, Drew?
I didn't get to watch because it's not on the Chicago TV market, but I watched all the highlights and stuff, and I think, especially because it was really close at halftime, it was great that we won by so much because it showed that we can, like, really pour it on when we need to instead of playing like passive kind of football where you just hold on to the lead. We can just go out and attack and run it up, which I think is awesome.
Yeah, it was starting out. It was way more of a defensive game than what I thought it was going to be. Like the second half is what I thought it was going to be more than what it was for like the first quarter. And then I guess in the second quarter you can kind of feel it starting to open up a little bit more. And I could kind of sense like the dam was ready to break. I guess what kind of caught me off the guard was like I think for instance like what Drew was saying, it was pretty close after halftime, and I think Baltimore pretty much scored early, starting the second half. But basically, from that point on, I don't think they scored. So I think essentially we had a shutout in the second half, which is kind of crazy. And then it just seemed like, especially towards the end of the game, it just seems like we are just scoring at ease, and it was like they couldn't keep
Yeah.
up.
Yeah,
Definitely.
like towards the end, you could see that run defense was spent, so they were just gashing them with big runs on just right between the tackles. I think P. Ryan's touchdown was pretty much the Bengals had worn out the Ravens defense, and you know the dam broke, as you said, so they just busted a 46 yard touchdown. So that was pretty good.
Yeah, it was 46 yards, but he made it look like it was a 25-yard touchdown. Like he scored quick. It was like I couldn't tell.
Yeah,
I guess he was refreshed, and you could just tell everyone else was gassed.
yeah, ran right through that, straight through the defense.
That's the bonus of having two running backs that are bruisers, like Mixon and Piran. If you can like rotate him throughout the game, you can like bring in Mixon later, and he still has relatively fresh legs, and that's big. That's like he's one of the best running backs right now in the league. So like that rotation, if we keep using it, I think is great.
And even Evans, because like the crazy part, and as I look back, it just seemed like we did everything right. It was kind of a shock to a lot of people that like, why would you cut Geo? Why would you cut Geo? Like there was just no point of cutting. I mean, I guess
I think
yeah. Well, yeah.
I said that.
It was ringing through my head. But if you think about it though, and I don't know if this was their exact plan, but getting Evans late in the draft was kind of like it's kind of like an upgrade from Geo because it's just to me it's just a bigger version of Geo because like he can catch like he's kind of like a threat on the perimeter if you like motion him out there. So he's an awesome if you even want to call him a third string back.
I wouldn't go so far as to say
I'm sorry.
I think go so far as to say is Evans an upgrade over Gio. Gio's a better football
Maybe
player right now.
not. I don't know about that yet
I think
because
I don't know.
he's bigger,
I don't
bigger,
know.
faster, but
I
mean,
I, I think he's
he
an
gives you so
upgrade
much.
because the way we would use him in our offense, if you motion him out like that, because he's just a bigger body person. Now, if we're just talking like shiftiness and maybe running the ball, then yeah, maybe Gio's got that edge. But if you're talking about like complete package, I don't know. I think Evans might have it because like the thing that caught me off guard is that he can
We'll
actually
see.
catch.
I'm like the complete opposite. I mean, that's why I think Gio is better right now. I think he's more of a complete player. I think you can put him in for 3 downs if you needed a game or two. I don't think that. I think that if Mixon went down for a game, I think P. Ryan would be the guy that would carry the load, and then maybe you'd have Evans be kind of third down back or
Yeah,
to run
I mean
with.
that's true. I think if we didn't have P Ryan, then we probably wouldn't cut Gio. But But yeah, I mean, I get that, but I don't know. I think Evans is he could be pretty special too.
I think
Potential.
that
Saying like right now, this year, I would still take Gio. Maybe next year, um, in the second year. I mean, for all of Evans' physical ability, um, he's still learning the playbook, still learning how to be a player in the NFL. So, I mean, that's why he's so limited in terms of number of snaps. So, you hope that he's ready when you need him. I mean, I when they drafted him, I liked the pick. I liked the upside. I see. I mean, you see what he can do, especially catching the ball. I mean, he has really good hands and runs. I don't know if he runs good routes. I don't know what a good route looks like, but it looks good on TV when he catches the ball. He's had a couple of really nice looking catches, with his like wheel routes. So
I think in theory, I think Evans is probably who you would want, but I feel like on the field and based off just obviously Evans is still a rookie, but like he's Giovanni Bernard when it was like 5 or 6 years ago or something, he would rush maybe 800, 900 yards a season. A couple times he tapped 1,000. So he could go between he could go between the guards and the tackles and stuff like that as well, and still go out and catch passes, which I think is arguably more valuable. But I mean, Evans can probably obviously still learn to do that.
yeah, I don't think that there's any. I mean, physically he's very gifted, so I wouldn't say that there are any limitations on what he'll do in his career. But I mean, if you're talking about this year, talk about the Bengals maybe being a playoff team, I don't think it's. I mean, I think it's a strong show of support that the Tampa Bay picked him up. So I mean, I'm happy for him. Hopefully, the Bengals make the playoffs, and the Bengals. I think with Bernard on the team, they would still be in line to make the playoffs. So it's too bad that he hasn't gotten too many games in the playoffs as a pro. So hopefully he does well in Tampa. Maybe make it to the Super Bowl and lose to the Bengals. I take that.
As if Tampa makes it to the Super Bowl. We don't know that. I think really the highlight of the year when it comes to the Bengals is the defense, because like in a way they are pretty much outperforming the offense, and that's probably a big reason why we beat Baltimore. Well, I mean, there's many reasons why we beat Baltimore, but I want to say we sacked Lamar Jackson 5 times, which is the most of his career, and then not only that, I think we beat Baltimore. I think that's the biggest loss in their history. I want to say, at least to the Bengals. So that was a big accomplishment.
It's getting the Bengals coverage. I mean, it went from a lot of negative news to all of a sudden the Bengals have arrived and they're ready to lead the AFC. So I mean, it's a nice game. Yeah, I mean, the defense has been amazing. I mean, the way that they were able to control Baltimore's offense is really impressive. Because I mean, Baltimore came off a really big win. So to see a free agent signing on the defensive line play out, as well as Trey Hendrickson. I mean, to sign a guy and bring him in to get you sacks, and he comes in and what does he have now?
6.5, I think.
Sacks,
6.5, yeah.
6.5, 7 sacks. That's pretty good. I mean, you bring a guy in, you pay him to get sacks, and 7 games into the season, he's getting you about a sack a game.
I want to say all their free agent signings were pretty solid, because even like Awuzie, the cornerback, is playing at a Pro Bowl level, and then
the guy they picked up from the Browns is playing really good.
Yeah. I mean, he pairs really well with the people that we already have on our defensive line.
Yeah, and then that trade for what's his name, Trey Hill?
BJ Hill?
Or was that
Yeah.
BJ Hill? Yeah. I mean, he had a sack this year. So I mean,
He has 3 sacks this year.
getting he has 3 sacks.
Yeah.
Wow, that's almost the price would give up if he was here.
That actually makes me think of two things. That's like that one trade for who do we give up? The backup center. I know he was our first round.
We gave up Price.
Price, yeah.
I just said Price.
Oh, sorry, Price. Yeah, he's just an afterthought. Like he's already got way more production than what Price could ever give us. So it's like an awesome trade. That's crazy.
It's great. Yeah, we got great.
And then I think I saw this, and I'm not sure if this is 100% correct, but I want to say Jamar Chase at this point has more yards than Ross had with than what Ross had as a Bengal in his career. That's crazy. It's phenomenal.
Like that.
Exactly. Just weird how special the season
No, I
is.
mean,
like,
yeah. Well, I mean, it's. I mean, I never would have guessed that Chase would start off the season this hot, but I mean, yeah, he's been spectacular. I mean, definitely so far rookie of the year, right?
it would be hard for him to lose it, just because the only real threat would be maybe Mac Jones or like a rookie quarterback.
You mean? I don't think you said. I don't think you said Penei Sewell, right?
No. I don't think Penei Sewell's having necessarily a really bad year either, but I mean, like the default always goes to like a rookie quarterback if they play well, right? Like it's really hard for them to lose, but it doesn't seem like any of the really rookie quarterbacks are like shining this year, right? So
no, actually, most of them have been like bad, not even just neutral, just.
Yeah, it's kind of sad actually. Didn't Wilson get knocked out of the game?
This is exactly. This is a perfect transition to talk about this Sunday's game, because the Jets, if I remember right, drafted a quarterback with the number 2 pick. So Zach Wilson already hurt. I was looking up details on his backup.
Mike White.
So Mike White is going to get the start.
Oh, is he starting? I thought they traded for Flacco.
They did, but Mike White's still starting.
You don't think they would just put Flacco in? I mean, why not? Like, really? Like,
is that how you run a football team? Just whatever.
Yeah, I mean,
at this point for the Jets, you might.
Like, I mean, isn't that why you traded for him? Otherwise, then who cares? Like, like.
Well, I mean, maybe you traded for him because
Wilson's gonna be out for a while.
A few weeks, and I mean, you need a backup, right?
Well, if it's only like 2 or 3 weeks, then that's not worth the trade. But I think they might know it's going to be longer than that, or potentially.
Yeah. I mean, or maybe you bring in Flacco
because what's the longest you can be on the IR, or is he even going on the IR?
3 weeks is the minimum.
Oh, jeez.
So,
okay, but they haven't even declared that, have they? Or
I don't think so.
It looked pretty rough. Like the play he got, I think, hurt on initially. I thought he was gonna be out, but apparently he came back in, and then the next sack is where I guess he got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know how he didn't get hurt on the first hit. I mean, my God, did you see him get it was like ragdoll? Like the way he fell was so awkward.
I didn't see it. Only game I really watched over the weekend was the Bengals.
Yeah, I know it's kind of a weird feeling. I'm not sure with the. I think we're up.
Okay. So Zach Wilson has a PCL sprain.
Ooh,
so he can be out 4+ weeks.
Yeah, I mean, and if you're them, I wouldn't rush him back anyway.
That's why you signed Flacco.
Yeah. Well, not only that, at this point, you might as well be going for another high pick and protecting your quarterback. So there's no rush. But if you bring in Flacco like that, or at least trade for him, that means I would imagine you're still trying to win or develop a culture or something. To me, why would you waste a pick for Flacco? I just couldn't believe it.
You mean the elite quarterback, Joe Flacco? I mean,
yeah, he's pretty elite.
Yeah, been elite since 2013.
Well, I guess that's another thing that's kind of full circle is that we used to go against him a lot against the Ravens, and actually when it was against Marvin Lewis, we had a lot of success against Flacco, I want to say. But yeah, I really the only worry I have about this game is it being a trap game, because it's we're on such an emotional high.
We going low, or we going over.
But I don't know. Jets are not the team. I think they're actually on a low because like I think they're kind of scrambling at quarterback right now. It seems like I don't really.
I think the Jaguars, that was a trap game.
That was close.
We went in like, oh, we're just about to whoop the Jaguars, but then Trevor Lawrence is actually like a competent quarterback. So no.
Well, they did run a lot of zone read, which is
but they came in and
borderline.
we almost lost. But then I feel like with the Jets, there's just a whole nother level of bad that they're at right now.
Yeah, I mean,
they don't even have their starting quarterback, who is at the moment playing like a backup. So,
so actually might be a benefit, but I doubt, because it seems like their backups are not even that good. So, because you said their names, I'm like, who are they? Who? Like most teams.
White, I had to look him up, and that's not something.
Yeah, I looked him up.
So who is he? What do you know about him?
Well, I know that he played for University of South Florida.
Okay.
And I remember South Florida as a member of the Power Six. And so I figured maybe I remember, but I don't know. I might, but I don't remember him ever playing against the Bearcats or ever being worried about him. So I don't know. Who knows? He might be good. I mean, his stats weren't terrible against the Patriots last week. He, a touchdown, 2 interceptions, around 200 yards. Nothing crazy, right? But I don't know. I mean, the Jets aren't playing like a good team right now, so you would think that with the backup, you'd have an advantage. So, I mean, I was looking at the gambling stuff, and I think the spread is at 8.5. So Bengals
8.5. Wow.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably low, but
yeah, I mean, I would confidently say we're going to win by at least 2 touchdowns.
Well, they just lost 54-13 to definitely a Patriots team that's worse than the Bengals. So
yeah, but it's the NFL. But I at the same time, I don't want to jinx the Bengals. Like I can see them winning more than by 2. But like to me, if you can say you're going to confidently win by 2 touchdowns in the NFL, that's a lot, because like most games are usually decided by like possession or 2 or whatever. So it's like,
yeah. So saying it's a 2 possession game. 8.5's a lot though to be favored.
Yeah. In the sporting world, yeah. I mean, often if you're getting 8.5 points, you're usually taking that team, unless they're the Jets. Like,
unless they're the Jets, I don't know, man. I feel I'm picking on the Jets. I mean, I guess they did win a Super Bowl, so they have that on the Bengals, but they have been bad a lot recently.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't like
the one thing that if we do on Sundays end up going up early and it's like the third quarter or something like that, and we're up by like 3 or 4 scores, just take Joe Burrow out and don't risk it, because he's had some pretty close calls this year of just like, oh my gosh, should we just lose our season again because we couldn't protect them, or he took a risky hit like he did against the Packers. And I feel like if we do end up in that position, just take him out and don't. I can see running up the score on the Ravens, because that's a statement against a division rival that we're fighting with for like the top of the AFC. The Jets, we are not currently in a division or fighting with the Jets, so there's no reason to keep in all the starters if we're up by a lot.
No, I'm fairly confident we're going to put in the backups. I like last week, or even against Baltimore, we ended up putting in the backups. I thought that was kind of wild. It's like 2 weekends in a row where we put in our second string, which is really weird in the NFL.
Yeah.
But I could definitely see it where if we're up several possessions and it's we have pretty good control. Yeah, we'll definitely put in our backups. I kind of
several possessions. Okay, so you're already predicting backups. So I mean, is it time for predictions?
Well, I'm saying
Really?
if it's a situation where the backups would normally come in, just do it. Don't
Yeah, I don't
try and
doing
run
that
up
if
the
that happens.
score.
But although I see that the backups will get in.
I think probably closer to like late in the. We'll say
Late
mid
third,
fourth
probably.
quarter. Mid
Oh,
fourth quarter is when. But if you guys are ready, I'll let you go with your score predictions.
Okay. All right, we'll let Drew go first. What's your prediction on the score?
38 to 17, we'll say.
Dang.
Okay. 38. Who's got the 38?
Oh, the Bengals, of course.
Okay. 38-17. That's a lot of points. I'm just gonna go with good even numbers. I'm gonna go 28 to 20.
28 to 20. Damn. I think Drew stole my score, but all right, I'm going to adjust mine a little bit. I'm going to say 36 to 17 Bengals. We're going to get that 36. I don't know how, but it's going to happen.
So, the 36? Oh, yeah, because last week you predicted Origami 36-36 high.
Mm-hmm. At one point, I thought I was going to get close because like it was like starting to score, and then like Baltimore just stopped scoring. I was like, whoa, like it was weird.
Yeah. I thought we were gonna get to the 27-24, but
it started out that way. It really felt like that's what the score was going to be based off like the first quarter, and then towards the end of the second quarter, you can just feel things starting to because it was really intense. Like defenses can only like hold up so long.
Especially against Lamar Jackson, so I was glad that we were able to shut him out essentially. Other than that one time they did score for the second half, but like it was pretty dominant on defense.
Yeah, the defense had his number for sure. I mean, you can only slow him down. You can't really like stop him. So we did a pretty good job of slowing him down.